There is healing and calmness and strength and humility. Cherokee proverb. Calmness, taking deep breaths, relaxing, restores the nervous system, helps free up blood flow. It's good for oxygen. Healing just in calmness. Calmness as in meditation versus inert repose where we say, I quit, I'm not gonna move. That's not calm. That's not relaxed. That's not under control, under self-control. Everything that we have going on can sometimes cause us to be the opposite of calm 24 hours a day. We don't even realize it. All the way down to what we go to sleep to. We might be watching stuff that's going to keep us on the treadmill further, grinding even harder, running even faster toward that dream. So in that, we probably forget to be calm. We forget to be chill about all of this. And so we get the opposite of healing. Just off pure pacing. You want more proof? This is the law of inverse proportions too. Universal law is tied into that. Where the less respirations, the longer the lifespan, because you're holding on to prana, chi, which is air, relaxation. Some people will go further to say it's the ethers, it's, let it be what it is, but it's just you holding on and really taking your time the right way, not lethargy, you know what I mean, but you're not anxious, not so jittery in the wrong way. Don't confuse bubbly with jittery. Some people that's not bubbly, it's jittery. Think about it like this. You want solid proof that this is a real thing, that just in being calm you could be healed. Compare your lifespan to a dog. An actual dog, like a pet. And just think about how quickly they age. But also think about how fast so many of them breathe. Typically the ones with the fastest heart rate, right? They die off the quickest. Those are the ones that expire the quickest. You got some creatures who are probably here and then gone in the same day because their hearts beat so fast. Imagine 1,200 respirations per minute, like pure chest compression. How long you gonna live? I mean, that's stress. You know, the feds can't even chase you that hard. 1,200, 1,500 respirations a minute, your heart going. It's gonna explode. But you got creatures who, you know, probably have heart rates that are way up there, somewhere near that, maybe even past it. So with longevity, right there in nature, natural biology, the animals, you have that healing aspect, but it's cloaked under a longer lifespan, longevity. Now, I guess it would be just more of a stretch for you to believe that, you know, these things can happen on site. I've even done this with people, like on the Reiki level, just by having a conversation with them and saying things in a certain way. You know, you could take away migraines, take away anxiety attacks. that one usually works the most. You could take away anxiety attacks, and different things like that, where you can do a healing on the spot just using the calmness of your energy alone. Yeah, this is possible, especially if the mind of the other person is suggestible. Sure, it would be easier to work something out like that. All right, so we got the medicine. Now here's the vitamin. Strength and humility. Sounds good, sounds poignant, sounds dignified, sounds prestigious, sounds upper echelon, sounds all of that kind of stuff. But what is it saying? Because I'm looking at it and my ears is saying the same thing your ears is probably saying. It just sounds Ivy League to the max. Strength and humility. It sounds like that's written on somebody else's walls. Hall of Fame, person who achieved, this level of being on top at the honor society. Strength and humility. But here's what strength and humility is. So to be able to be comfortable in your own skin. Don't confuse humility with humiliation. Humiliation, you're being debased. That's you being knocked off the high horse. Humility is not saying I'm not self-confident enough to get on a horse and ride. Humility is saying that my confidence, while I'm doing nothing to reduce it, because remember, we're talking about strength versus a kind of humbleness that is weak. That's more of the other kind, the pushover. But we're talking about real confidence, though, that doesn't overcompensate. There's strength in that. That kind of humility. When a person has to find out later. You ever had somebody just have to find out later something like, man, I ain't know you did this. I ain't know you did that. I ain't know you did this. It just hit different in the solar plexus somewhere. You just get this glow. Your heart get real ticklish. The chest get real ticklish when somebody didn't know something that was awesome about you, that you just didn't even feel like talking about, just off GP. Like, nah, man, I ain't even gonna go there. We'll wait till next conversation to start talking about these accomplishments, if the conversation even goes that way. But we just gonna keep all of the trophies where they belong, behind the glass, on the shelf, on the display case. We're not going out to the pool hall with them. We're not going out to the bar with our accomplishments on our shoulders. We're not doing that. It sounds good. It sounds cinematic. If we're talking about a movie, yeah, that's cool. If you're making a movie, it makes for a good scene. But in reality, nah, it ain't really real like that. That's just scripted. And if you take it in the real world, that means you playing without even knowing it. You playing a role and not living a life. So all of that, just in the humility that comes with strength, being strong enough where you confident, you ain't trying to prove nothing, but you're strong in that, you're comfortable in that. If somebody asks you, of course, or whatever, if hey, you do this, or if they need some kind of credentials, validation, like, look, I'm able to do such and such, and these things are, they have humility in them. What's another sign of humility? I guess we're talking about in operation, in application. Another sign of humility, being strong, is being able to lift up other people around you without feeling the need to put yourself above other people. That's a sign of humility in action. Some people will say you're being humble. It's a little bit bigger than humble. Humble, you could be just sitting in the corner not saying anything, but humility, tying it in with strength again, is more like you're encouraging the whole team if it's just members of the team that's struggling. But everybody else on the team is aggravated at the other two members who are struggling, but rather than you pick on the members who are struggling and pick on the other members of the team for picking on the people who are struggling, you just lift up the whole team and say, we're struggling. That's humility. That's humility. That's tied in with strength. Humility tied in with strength. Last one. Let's go 3 for 3. All Cherokee proverbs, all Native American wisdom. Have a vision, not clouded by fear. A vision. I've had times where I was too afraid to even have a vision. I had too much fear. Too much fear to have a vision. Like, well, what is it you want to do? Well, I want to, you know what I mean? I was thinking about, instead of me ever telling them what I wanted to do and what my plans are, I always tell them, well, this happened, you know, and back when I was young, this and this and this and this and this and this. Next thing you know, I done told the whole story about my life all over again, went over my whole narrative instead of talking about my goal. What am I going to do next? What's the plan? What's the play? Now I'm steps ahead of that and like, what's the play? I'm in it. I'm living it. Just, did you not hear what happened 10 minutes ago? But before that, though, I couldn't even form a vision correctly because the clouds of fear was just there. You know, before I even got into what I really want, I would skip right to the excuses. Well, you know, they don't let us usually go this far with this, you know what I mean? And who gonna believe that I'm gonna be able to pull that off now? And who's, you know, I don't know if I could do that. Ain't nobody in my family made it that kind of way before. Don't they say that this happens and this happens, and how can I do that with this going on? And all kinds of fear. Clouds of it, though. You know what I mean? Clouds of fear. Like storm clouds, like a sheet. You can't even see the sun, can't even see the light. You think you expecting it to rain, you're ready to just go into from fear to drear. You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, it's cloudy, I guess it's gonna rain a heavy one. Nah, have a vision, a singular vision, just one, a main vision. Like, my life is gonna be like this, and you might see clouds of fear on the horizon. Yeah, you might see some mist, some vapor. But focus on this, the grit behind your vision, how certain you want it to happen, how much you believe in it. That's like turning the power of your sunshine on to burn those clouds away. That's like turning up the heat for you to be like, oh, okay, well, this kind of fear keeps on coming up every time I go over my vision. And so when we gonna do this tennis match, then we just gonna do it. I'm just gonna have to hit back with this vision every time the clouds of fear show up. I'm gonna have to turn the vision up. Like, man, I was really feeling burnt out a few days ago. Let me crank up the amount, you know what I mean? Like, let me go even harder. Let me just, you know, get some rest, recollect, and then just come back just 10 times stronger. You know what I mean? That can be the response. Where you turning up the heat to, I'm telling you, burn the clouds away. The clouds of fear, you can burn them away if you have a vision. But you got to know when to turn up the heat. Summer clouds ain't the only clouds. There's a such thing as winter clouds too. And those things pack snow. And that snow will have to be shoveled. And if you ain't got a shovel, then that snow should get 5 feet. And if it gets cold enough in your world where all of that 5 feet of snow freezes solid, you in trouble. So burn away the clouds of fear while they still in spring and still in summer. So that's what that's like, to have a vision not clouded by fear. These are 3 Cherokee proverbs. Feel free to search through the annals of Native American wisdom. Super T Sigma. Peace.